Hello, everybody. Dave Biteology coming at you once again on this dark and windy evening. So by the time you see us, it'll be tomorrow, uh, Wednesday morning. So hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer, but I doubt it. Well, if you're in Utah. Elsewhere, if you're in the tropics, you're probably out drinking a martini on the beach. If you're lucky, right? But anyway, tonight, just a quick video. Last week I did bands I didn't like back in the day, talking when I'm in my teens and early 20s, but I do today, or do now. Tonight, I'm going to be doing bands I used to like, but have kind of soured with me. And some of these bands I know probably going to upset some people, but hey, this is just me. If you like these bands, hey, more power to you. They don't do a thing for me now. Some of them I still like what they did in the past, some of what they did in the past, but let's put it this way, if somebody offered me a ticket to some of these guys for free, I'd say, no thanks. All right, let's get underway. Before I forget, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Like the video if you do. Post a comment down below. Maybe post leave a comment on what you like back or back in the day, but don't now. I'd be interested in seeing that. And hit the notification bell. But you know the drill on that, unless you're brand new to YouTube. But anyway, getting right into it here. Like I said, I don't hate these bands. I just don't. Well, I'm not interested in them anymore, except for maybe the odd album here and there. But I'll tell you what I mean here. First up, a band. That's in the name, band. And this band I first heard in my friend Jerry's room when we were kids, in high school. He said, check out this new band, Dave. I think you'll like it. Well, he put it on, and first song I ever heard from him was Running with the Devil. Of course, that band is Van Halen. Of course, some of you are probably saying, Davies, how can you not like Van Halen anymore? Very simple. It just way they treated some of their bandmates, their songs, just I don't know. It just today I just don't like their songs. I've tried to listen to their older stuff, and the funny thing about it, I have let's see, I think 3 or 4 albums of theirs. I have Van Halen 2 on 8-track. Haven't listened to that in years. I do have an 8-track player, so that's not the case. I have 1984. I think I've listened to that once. I have For Unlawful Cardinal Knowledge. Actually, I have 4 albums. Yeah, I probably said that. Back when that came out, I listened the heck out of that. I loved it. It was a great album. Now, I put it on, and I just doesn't do anything for me anymore. It's that you love it, and then over time it doesn't age well. Their live album, Right Here, Right Now, it was good at the time. I haven't listened to that for years. The only album I have listened to recently is Balance. I don't like all the songs, but there are a few, like Give to Live, Can't Stop Loving You. In fact, I think that's the songs. It's been so long since I listened to it. When I say recently, the last 6 months maybe. But anyway, I think you get the gist of what I'm talking about here. I mean, it just, yeah, here we are. Yeah, Can't Stop Loving You, Amsterdam. I like Big Fat Money. Okay. Not enough. It just, Seventh Seal's good. But as for the rest of Van Halen, I just don't like. I mean, like I said, they haven't aged well. So, anyway, yeah, like I said, if you were to give me some free tickets to Van Halen, I'd say no thanks. Even if Sammy was back with them. As far as I'm concerned, Sammy was the positive in the whole works. Sammy Hagar, class act. I have just a few of his albums. Someday I want to get more, but money, big fat money. Anyway, moving on, number 2, Nirvana. When Nirvana first came on the scene, hey, I was on board. I thought the sounded great. Then I got their Unplugged album, and it just, if you ever heard their Unplugged album, I can't remember what the name of it is. I had it, but I had that and Nevermind. I might still have Nevermind. I can't remember if I, but anyway. The Unplugged album, it just, they sounded tired. Kurt Cobain, he just was like, okay, I'm going to sing these songs and just get through this. But it just, their music is just, to me, just too dimensional. I mean, it just has, it's just two sides. It doesn't have a front or back, top or bottom. It's just two sides to me. A lot of people like that, people who don't like, for some reason, guitar solos or extended jams. Stuff you like, you get in prog rock or heavy metal. To me, that's the heart of rock and roll. That's the heart of heavy metal. Jamming, enjoying the music. It's more than just listen to somebody spout some words and strum a guitar or a beat, It's more than just that. Okay, but anyway, Nirvana. Number 3, Pearl Jam. again, when they first came on the scene, big fan. Got their first album, was it 10? Then I got their second album. See here. It's been so long since I listened to that one. In fact, it's been probably about 15 years since I listened to this other album. I think it was their second album. A lot of information here. Okay, no, it was their third album, Biteology. Talk about a strange album. When I first heard it, I kind of liked it, but then it went downhill from there, and hearing the same old songs over and over again. Plus, it's to me, it's two-dimensional. That's two sides. There's nothing else. Maybe there's more to these other albums. I mean, they've got quite a few albums, and maybe someday I'll listen to it. But right now, that I just don't like Pearl Jam. So, anyway, number 4. This one, I remember when these guys first came out. I mean, they took the world by storm. I mean, I think everybody was listening to these guys. That's Guns N' Roses. Appetite for Destruction, when that first came out, I think all my friends had that album. I mean, I don't think you could go past a car full of teenagers or kids back in the day, or young adults that didn't have those songs jamming. But unfortunately, like all bands, well, not all bands, but certain bands, they have that one person or two people that eventually sour it. I'm talking about, that one person, Axl Rose. We've been doing better lately. I saw him with AC/DC, not, on YouTube, of course, but not live. And he did a good job. I thought a lot of people thought it sucked, but I thought he did a good job standing in for Brian Johnson. But anyway, I got their next two albums, Your Illusion 1 and 2, had those. They were okay, but it just after a while they kind of went downhill. They just soured to me, to the point where I eventually just got rid of those albums. In fact, I don't have any Guns N' Roses albums as of today. The only time I hear Guns N' Roses is on the radio. Of course, it's the same songs over and over and over again. And I know I tell people bands are more than just the songs they play on the radio, but I've heard the songs that they don't play on the radio, and they don't do anything for me. They just don't hold any interest. Of course, life's strange. I may change my mind down the road, but right now, no. So Guns N' Roses, no. Number 5, moving along here. Another band I'll probably get a lot of flack for. Def Leppard. Oh, good. There's the phone. Luckily, my mom answered the phone. Thanks, Mom. But anyway, Def Leppard. Now, I don't hate Def Leppard. I just not interested in them. Just, like the others. I remember when Pyromania came out. Again, just like Guns N' Roses, they took the world by storm. We couldn't wait to see them on concert. In fact, I went and seen them when they first started headlining. Uriah Heep opened for them. And it was a good. It was a great concert. We loved it. Then their next album, Hysteria, came out. Again, we loved that. Then, what was the next one? Adrenalize. Might be wrong. I owned the first 4 albums, and plus Retroactive. Hysteria, for all its great sound, is just soured. I know there's a lot of people I've heard that don't like Pyromania. They preferred the first 2 albums, On Through the Night and High and Dry. Pyromania, well, let's see. If I was to rate those first 4 albums, Pyromania would be my number 1. On Through the Night, number 2. High and Dry, number 3, and Hysteria, number 4. Everything they've done afterwards, I've heard at one point in time. Don't like it. Not interested. Retroactive, probably. I take back. Pyromania would be my number 1. Retroactive would be my number 1. With Pyromania number 2. I just think Retroactive, it kind of, to me, falls out of their standard, sound. I mean, it sounds like Def Leppard, but it's not in the category of Pyromania or Hysteria or any others that followed. It's different sounding to me, more enjoyable. So when I listen to Def Leppard, that's the one I go to the most. Then Pyromania, it's got my favorite songs, Rock of Ages. Now I can't think of the songs. Stage Fright. The only ones I don't really like is, the one I really don't like is Phonograph. When that comes on the radio, I leave the room or turn it off. I do not like Phonograph. Other ones I do to a certain point. But High and Dry, I've never really gotten into that. Never could get into it too much. Good songs on there, but just, of course, like I said, maybe down the road I'll listen to it and it'll sound different to me. So anyway, next up, another popular band, Bon Jovi. Now, I was sucked into the Bon Jovi wave when they first came out, but they really soured for me really quick. I have never liked Bon Jovi very much, except for when they first came out. Immediately afterwards, they really don't do anything for me. I know a lot of people love them. More power to you. I just don't. Never owned any of their albums. My sister did. I think she owned Slippery When Wet. But, yeah. Next one, Motley Crue. I still like some of their songs. I owned, excuse me, 3 albums. Shout of the Devil. You're probably going, Davies, why don't you if you own these albums, why don't you know them? I must be getting Alzheimer's. I don't know. But, Motley. Pearl Jam Mobley. There we go. There's the Motley ones. Yeah, Shout of the Devil. Duh. Yeah, Shout of the Devil. Dr. Feelgood, and that Greatest Hits compilation. Where is it? No, it's not that one. Well, they got a lot of. Well, that's tours. No wonder. Oh, I lied. I own Saints of Los Angeles. So, and their Greatest Hits one. The one that came after Dr. Feelgood. Yeah. I haven't listened to Dr. Feelgood for years. When I first came out, I loved it. Now I don't. Not really. Shout at the Devil. Haven't listened to that for a while, but probably, and I'm sure this probably goes with a lot of people, probably the best album. Shout at the Devil. The other ones, the Theater Pain, of course, Girls. I'd listen to those. They're all right. Haven't listened to any of the other ones after Dr. Feelgood, other than Saints of Los Angeles, which is Saints of Los Angeles is okay. I've only listened a few times. Maybe I should go revisit it, but right now, Motley Crue, I don't know. They just went from this fantastic band, a lot of promise to me, and just too many drugs, too much crap. Of course, what's new? That's what happens to a lot of bands, right? Too much crap. But anyway, Motley Crue, another band. This other one, Duran Duran. Again, they started out with promise. I like some of their, like Union of the Snake. Was I think my favorite song of theirs. Just another band that showed a lot of promise, but of course, tensions in the band, people going on. In fact, I haven't heard Duran Duran for years, but there's just, again, too much infighting. Yeah, Rio. Yeah, Hungry Like the Wolf. Very first Duran Duran song I ever heard. Uh, haven't heard that for years, but next, let's see, what was the next one? Is it this one? Yeah, Union of the Snake. Today, that song right there kind of holds a sweet spot with me. But it just, and I've even had this. I even had this album. I didn't have Rio, but I did have. Seven of the Ragged Tiger. I think I had that on cassette. So it was good. It was a good album, but one of those bands that they start up here and just. But anyway, okay. Now, last two. Probably get a lot of flack for this, but hey, like I said, this is just me. If you love these bands, great. Metallica. Metallica is really interesting because I remember when they first started, a lot of my friends, they'd say, well, I hate speed metal. And it was kind of a shock what they were playing, but it eventually grew on you. And I came to love Metallica. I played them all the time. But then, of course, came along Load and Reload, which I like. A lot of people don't like those albums. I like them. But that's where they started getting weird. Cut their hair, wearing weird clothing. And I'm like, okay, these guys are supposed to be a heavy metal band. What are they doing? They're going somewhere scary. I've seen them twice. They opened for Ozzy during his I can't remember the name, but anyway, they opened for Ozzy. And then they came during their Reload tour. Some then. Haven't seen them since. They've really soured to me because of their attitude. Now is like, well, here we are, we're holier than thou. Kiss our feet. Plus their music, Saint Anger. I listened to that twice. I tried to love that album. It didn't do anything. I mean, it sounded horrible. It sounded like they were trying to be this alternative metal band. And I'm like, you're not that. Then Death Magnetic came out, which was an improvement. I did get that album. That's the last Metallica album. But I listened to it a few times, and it just kind of sour. It just didn't do anything for me. The most recent album, I've listened to a few songs. I guess I really need to give it a chance, but Metallica, as far as being interested in them anymore, I just not. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too old, maybe it's something to do with my old age, I don't know. But anyway, last one. Now, this band, back in the early 90s, this captivated me. Especially when I heard one of their songs, Satellite Lucidity. Yeah, Queensryche. Loved them. Got all their albums up to QY2 or whatever the heck it was. I loved Promised Land. Kind of different, but I loved that album. Then the QY2, and everybody's in that 2000s. So they're gonna the year 2000 was going to be the end of everything. You guys remember that? You know, all you people that were born before 2000, how the computers were going to break down and electricity is going to stop. And I remember everybody came down to the shop and were ordering or buying generators. We sold out of generators. We couldn't get any generators after that. It was crazy. Let's see here. Come on. There it is. There she blow. Yeah, Silent Lucidity. Yeah, Q2K. Q2K. That was a QY2. Hey, whatever. Had everything except for up to there, except for Here in the Now Frontier. For some reason, I was never interested in that album. Of course, they've had all these other albums, you know, like Tribe and Operation Mindcrime 2. Just not really interested. You know, especially with Jeff Tate gone. You know, people say, "Well, yeah, maybe you need to give the new people a try." You know, and I will. Maybe I'll change my mind on them. Who knows? You know, never say never, right? But the earlier stuff, The Warning, Rage of Order, Operation Mindcrime, Empire, Promised Land, I love them all. Probably my number one out of all of them would be Empire, followed by Operation Mindcrime. No, I take that back. Operation Mindcrime would be my number one, followed by Empire, Rage of Order, Warning, and Promised Land, and with Q2K down at the bottom. I think I've only listened to that album maybe twice. It's just doesn't sound like Queensryche to me. But anyway, that's the ones I loved them today, but don't now. Recap: Van Halen, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Duran Duran, Metallica, Queensryche. Loved them back then, don't now. But, you know, things can change. You know, that's one of the great things about life. You can change your mind. So, but anyway, right now, no. Not interested in very much. Maybe once in a while with, you know, maybe Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Queensryche. But anyway, like I said earlier, put a list of what you liked back in the day but don't now. I'd be interested to see that. Maybe subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, hit the bell, go wash some dishes, wash your car, go sit on a beach someplace and drink some margaritas for me if you're out in Hawaii or Australia, whatever. But yeah, have a good evening or good day or whatever, and we'll talk to you later.